Welcome back, YouTube pipe smokers. I'm all briared up. Hope you're having a heck of a good evening. Just thinking of what pipe to use. I'm gonna just mix something up today. Don't know what it's gonna be exactly. Got some ideas of things to throw in it. Just something I haven't made yet. And yeah, just debating on what to do. Just had a really nice Google Meet again, tell ya. And, everybody seems to be smoking bulldogs lately. And so I think I'm going to do that to start with. This is my Peterson Bulldog. I got this one for an amazing deal. Had this sucker around half a year. Got that great grain, great color. Great smoking pipe. And I'm going to mix some things up here. I'm going to try some, what the heck. Somebody started smoking, I was talking about smoking Five Brothers in the Google Meet. And that is one of my go-to blends sometimes. Don't always go to it because it's burns fast. Jeff, how you doing, brother? It's good to have you in the Google Meet for a little bit. Thanks for joining. Just going to mix something up here. And I've never had Acadian Perique. Now, normally I try every blend before I include it in a mix. But this is going to be trial by fire. Hey, Hillbilly. Hey, Dark Lord. Welcome, brothers. Todd, great to have you again, brother. This Perique was sent to me by Hillbilly. I haven't tried this Acadian Perique on its own, Hillbilly. I'm going to mix it with something tonight. Go against the usual of trying each component first and just see what happens. Just kind of random here. But I haven't blended in a while, and other than a little the last weekend, but I'm just going to throw something random together. And just letting you guys know, and for anybody who views this live later on after it's been done, I'll get Todd, once you get a mailing address you want it sent to, I'll get the blends done and they'll age a little bit and wait for you. And when things work out, you just let me know and we'll get there. Hey, Zippo, how you doing, buddy? So this is some Acadian Perique from Hillbilly, some Five Brothers, and some New Minster Superior Flake. Welsh Piper, good to see you, brother. It has been a while, and I'm always happy to see you, man. Okay, Todd. Yeah, just keep me up to date. If that's the case, I'll get it ready for you then and get it sent out soon. I just wanted to make sure because I know that one time they kept that in the mail for 10 days and then sent it back. And so I, just want to, if it's going to be a while that everything's fine, then I'll go ahead with sending it. I just don't want it to miss you. I want to make sure it gets to you. So good deal, man. And Mabu's going to mail a package as well. So we'll just see how everything works out, brother. Should be pretty soon. She's going to get a package ready for her sister. And we're getting snow tonight. We're supposed to get a lot. So if we can get it out this week, we will. Just letting you know. But yeah, man. Well, it's been a while, brother. How are you feeling? My Thundercat comes running through the house sounding like an elephant on a tangent. As soon as my wife walks down the stairs, he creeps under a chair and hides and waits to pounce on her. That's what I do sometimes. Yeah, it's getting there, Welsh. I had a couple of nights I must have been a little stressed. I was kind of picking on my beard. And that's something I never really used to do, but I tend to handle stress pretty well. But deep down, something must have been just crossing my mind. You know, I'm always thinking of you guys and your families and just hoping everything's going well. So I'm just letting it grow. Well, you put some more up here and I'll take some off of here. Just kidding. I'll trim it pretty soon. A little bit. I got to be careful. If I trim it too much, I'm out. That's true, Jeff. So I'm blending a tiny bit of Acadian Perique with some Five Brothers and some New Minster Superior Flake. I mean, that can't be bad, even if it isn't a great blend of the components together. But it sounds good. So we'll see what happens. I saw the box and I'm like, you know, I should mix something with that. See what happens. I've only made a couple of blends that I will never make again. And she sits down, the cat runs over, paws her leg with just one paw, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And the cat runs off.
Oh, I know what you want.
Oh, I got you, Todd. Ooh. Yeah, that is a bit high for blood pressure. My goodness. Hernias or something, man. I've got, from my past surgeries, I've got a couple of spots I got to watch down the road. I had a colostomy in high school, and when it was all said and done, it was just a line. The scar was just a line. It was a nice scar. It looked good, strong one. And it was right where my belt would be, so it would rub on my jeans. And when it healed more, I go, oh no, I'm getting a blister. And all it turned out was there was a suture that worked. The body will get rid of what it needs to. So it worked itself loose, and it was no big deal. And now the scar is more like an oval. So I got to watch for that. Other than that, and it's a fairly reasonable risk because it's a pretty good sized area, but lowering stress and not lifting tons of stuff helps a lot, and just being careful. Yeah, that's a pretty dang high blood pressure rating, because typically, around 117 over 80s or 90s is acceptable. So that's pretty dang high. But you feeling pretty good, man? I'm glad you're here, buddy. Metaphorically and literally. Oh, I'm smoking my Peterson Bulldog because I forgot I had it. Everyone's been smoking Bulldogs. I was like, I wish I had a Bulldog, and then I remembered. So I gotta smoke this sucker. Just the draw, it smells almost like jerky, or tastes almost like jerky. Yeah, I'll keep keeping you in my prayers there, Welsh, because I always think about all you guys and keep y'all in my thoughts and prayers, so I'll continue to do so, buddy. Oh, that week off will help, man. Good for you. It's always good to revitalize yourself, get some good rest, and then go back at it again when it's time. Man, I'm sorry it's lingering on for you, Dark Lord. I hate those. I had that one that lasted a couple weeks, and that was just miserable. Well, we had the Google Meet in the shop tonight for the first time, actually having a live or Google Meet in my garage. And I was warm, man. I had this flannel shirt is warm as heck. Got 2 t-shirts on underneath, and then I had a warm coat. And man, I had it 60 in there. Well, I turned it up to 65, and I was getting too warm. So I moved the heater back away and turned the thermostat down, and it was comfortable in there. I really enjoyed it. All that's missing is the recliner that's going to be in there. Then it will be perfect, because I'm sitting on lawn chair kind of stuff. It just ain't the same. Well, our problem here, Zippo, where I live in Nebraska, we had a day that was like 65 degrees, and we had 2 days that were cold with lots of snow. Then it was nice today, and now it's getting closer to, I think it's around 20 Fahrenheit. Yeah, actually, Mabu got a new pipe from Hillbilly. Real nice. Gorgeous, light, wonderful pipe. And the grain, it's hard to tell on this, is actually like a translucent. It goes into it, you can kind of see it like playing with like with fish scales. But it's a beaut. And she's going to hop on here at some point this evening and share a smoke with us on it. I think so, yeah. I absolutely love the shape. It's almost like a church warden or like an extended, smaller Prince shape. And Mabu and I love that kind of shape. I lost my only Prince, the only pipe I misplaced, so I shouldn't misplace anymore. Once you do something, you usually don't do it again. This is delicious. Now, I'm wrapping my head. Thank you. I'm wrapping my head around this blend. You can taste the Five Brothers. With the New Minster, it's just really flavorful. It's perfect, and there's Acadian Perique, and so I'm just trying to separate, since I didn't smoke Acadian Perique on its own like I usually do first before blending with it. I'm just trying to separate it in my mind and see what part it's playing, but it's very good. Thank you, Welsh. Yeah, it's good to have you back, buddy. Gentleman caller, very nice. I've heard great things about that from many people. I think there was only one person I heard of that it just wasn't for them, but they didn't say anything negative on the blend. They just said it just wasn't for them. Excuse me. Pop can gave way. The shop's doing good. A quick update for you guys. We got Sanders and stuff put in there. We're going to pick up a small workbench. We were going to move in one with a pegboard. And we decided that we're going to pick up a different one with more space, more of a top. Or at least we talked about it when I left my dad. So we'll see what ends up happening. But we moved that in. We got 4 out of 8 lights that we're going to hung today. Fantastic lighting. We have a switch that'll turn on all those other lights, but you can manually turn off ones. So I just had one going, and then I had the other switch which turned on the 2 middle lights. It was awesome. RD, why so blue? Because your circle is blue now. It looks cool, man. Oh, does it? And that may have been why the guy, he didn't reveal to me what he didn't like about it. I just got lag is about 2 minutes, and then I just saw RD say Ohio right now. It could be, we do have a storm going on, so it could be that if it's lagging for you guys, I apologize. Well, I opened up the live and it said, yeah, normal colors again. Ooh. Good for you, Zippo. Maybe I'll smoke some of that tonight too. That is a great one. So is it treating you pretty good? The guy was Sasquatch Piper 2. He changed his name to The Road Goes. And he really enjoyed Mordor as well. He did a nice review on it. And Hillbilly loves that stuff too. That is so far my most popular blend. Everybody I've sent it to has liked it. So, and they're the kind of guys that would tell you, hey, there's something I don't like about this. So it was good to have them try it. If I send you guys samples and there's some blends in there that I made and there's some that bothers you about it, definitely let me know. Because sometimes I can remake a blend. I had a blend that didn't have tongue bite for me, and it gave tongue bite to someone I sent it to. So I just reblended it, and then they could use it. So if there's something that doesn't work for you, let me know. It's half and half of H&H Old Dark Fired and H&H Latakia Flake. Awesome, Zippo. Okay, so Jeff is drinking a Busch Light. It's a surprising blend. It gets rid of, it seems like it lowers the strength of the Old Dark Fired, so it's easier for people to smoke. And it helps get rid of, or at least deter greatly, the amount of weird sensation Latakia can give from even great components such as the HH Latakia. You know, they can give that Latakia tongue, but with those two components blended together, you get all the positives from both components and none of the negatives. It's fantastic. Yeah, and it reduces the tangy stuff. That's right. And that is important. Some people do search for that. And in a couple of blends, that tangy kind of taste goes with them. But I generally don't care for it because it reminds me of when I've smoked too much Latakia, that tanginess makes me think that. And so for my personal blending, I kind of avoid it. I'm glad you put the word deep because it is a very deep, flavorful. Yeah, deep is a good word because you put strong, and which it is a little strong. You know, Old Dark Fired can be strong. I used to smoke a quarter of a bowl at a time. Your cat's so playful tonight. My cat's used to me smoking, and he hangs out with me, and I did the Google Meet in the garage, and he doesn't know what to do. Now I'm back. He's all happy. He totally could, RD. You know, he said in his first video he wasn't one for being on camera, but he really does a good job at describing things very, very well. I often forget the dang words for it. But wait, there's more. Nicotine. That's what I was thinking too, Jeff. Yeah. It's probably a little too strong for Dark Lord to start with. It was for me. But nice, RD or Zippo. I can't even talk. Nice, Zippo. I did that for about 2 years, almost 3. I'm glad I had that job at the time and I don't miss it. But it wasn't a bad one. Now, I did do that in a couple other jobs as part of my job, but it wasn't my one job for those. But anyway, we'll get this little workbench in our shop. Just enough room for everything. Got a spot to put the air compressor in the corner, out of the way, and near the big door. It's not super loud for an air compressor. It's fairly quiet. But in a closed shop, it can bother me. It echoes around. So I just open the doors when my dad uses it, or I step out of the garage or whatever, and it's much more tolerable if it's just going to be for a minute. Oh, yeah, because you know, it isn't even when they ask that, because at first you're like, obviously I work here, but it's always what follows. Usually the people that ask, do you work here, are usually the ones who have a grievance, but they don't take it up with customer service. They want to take it out on somebody else. Oh, excellent. Excellent, Welsh. Thank you. Now, this week has been all Briar for me. A little bit of Cobb, but especially the last few days, man, I had some tired days. And Mostly it was this Mountbatten pipe, Sunset Breeze by Peterson, and John Bull. Man, that John Bull, I have some. I believe what Hillbilly Piper sent me was aged a little more than what I have, and that made my evenings wonderful. Still have the hog. That it's over my head right now, buddy. I can't. Oh, no, never mind. I got it. I got you. Yeah, still got it. I still do have it, honestly. We're working out. So my friend bought it, and basically the deal was he said you get better and can drive it, then you just have it back. I don't know if I'll ever get to drive it again. But so it's been, yeah, it's still with us. It's just still sort of mine. But we're just keeping it in a good place for him. But he comes by, he works near us, so he comes by and he'll get it, leave his truck or his car, or his wife will even drive it, and they'll drive the bike to work and come back and swap out. So it's still with me, definitely in spirit, and still kind of around, but I miss driving it. It was sure fun to drive. But RD, nice. Yeah, Welsh, and I hate to sell it, but the nice thing is I'll get more out of it than I put into it, and it'll be a good deal. It'll be okay. That's one of those things I could keep forever and just keep it, but somebody needs to be enjoying it more, and who's stable minded and can do very well with it and get a lot out of it. It's just like if someone was going to give up pipe smoking, it'd be better maybe they keep a memento pipe or something and sell or give out their pipes, because somebody needs to use it or pass it down, whatever. And I can now comfortably hold a pipe in my hand, so my thumb is healing very nicely. It's right down here. So no matter which way I move, it moves right over that dang thing, but it's doing very well. And I'm remembering more often to just do stuff with my fingers that I would do with the thumb. So when I'm grabbing boxes, it's weird. But if it pretty much doesn't, if I don't move it too much either way, it's pretty good. So holding it like this, my thumb stays pretty good. The only mistake I made was I tried to hang a drape we have to cut back noise from the washer and dryer. And I mean, you just put it up and twist the two ends. Well, you got to twist the other end more than this end. And I twisted this hand like this, and I was like, oh, nope, it's staying down till I'm done. But 4 lights to hang. They're all 30-inch lights. 4 lights left to hang in the garage, the workbench, and then we got to bring the recliner down when the weather's better. And yeah, just mount a couple of sanders on the new bench and just kind of get the minor details, just putting things where you want them to use them. And then once my hand's all healed up, I can get back into action. But I had a practice pipe I was working on just about had the bowl cleaned out, and then I was going to do the rest of it, and then I had slipped. I had a quick little seizure and jerked above where it would have hit, and then my mind continued the thought, and I just got it right into my hand, and it was the dumbest accident ever. But, you know, I told my dad, I just don't know what happened. He said, you must have had just a quick seizure. I mean, 5 to 10 seizures a heartbeat. That's a lot of chances to have a screw up. So, oh, sorry about that. 5 or 6 weeks for you, mostly smoking your Stanwell. Nice. I have a lot of respect for Stanwell pipes. Oh, awesome, Welsh. I bought one. I bought 2 or 3 actually. And then I was gifted 2. And I was, 3 because I was gifted a pipe lighter. And I usually just use matches because I hate how much fuel that pipe lighter uses, but I love the pipe lighter. I enjoy their lighters so much. I just need to use them more. I just love matches. I just do. Ha ha ha. Awesome recovering. Boy, I can't even talk. Awesome recovering. And welcome in, buddy. I'm smoking a little mix, which is pretty nice. It's some Acadian Perique with Five Brothers and New Minster Superior Flake. It's pretty good. Nice, warm, comforting smoke. Nice, dry smoke. Some dark fired in it would make strong and earthy. I think that'd be a nice combination. The Acadian Perique, if I'm catching the right notes, are kind of giving it almost a perfumey, kind of what the long cut Perique does if you use it with certain other components. It can give that kind of floral, almost floral smell. It's a nice blend. And I've got some Dan's Pistachio over there. But I might have to smoke some Mordor with you guys. It seems like a good night for dark tobacco blend. So what are you smoking, recovering? And let's be sure and remember to give some prayers for Welsh Piper's recovery and the ongoing successful management of blood pressure, and some prayers to Everett Young and his family. His mom had a good day today, and let's just hope she has more good days and that things go the way she needs them to, whichever that may be. His dad's staying very strong, but my dad, I was going to say this in Google Meet and I spaced out on it. When my dad gave us a talk, now this is within a year, a few months ago, my dad gave my brothers and I a talk. We went out to dinner and he just said, these are our plans and wishes when our time comes. But we were on the verge of losing my dad when I was in high school. And it's so it's not all taken for granted. It's a little taken for granted that he's here. But it's also appreciated daily. And so we almost lost him too soon to get to talk about anything. So it was very nice that he's gotten to be here. We're all, Mabu, myself, my dad, we're all kind of on borrowed time, so to speak. So we appreciate everything. My dad has mellowed out a lot. He's always been a great guy, but man, when we went out farming, we kids would just play in the shop or help him or whatever until it was time to go, especially if we got tired. We stayed out there with him until pretty late. And now when he's cold or he's tired, it's time to quit. He just drops what he's doing and he goes home. And that's good. He's getting some rest here and there better than he used to. Hi, buddy. My cat's playing around the chair. All right, so recovering, if you were smoking a blend, what type do you think you would be smoking tonight? Nice. Oh, that's nice. His name is, see, whenever I go out, the people always shout. Ooh. I've heard positive things about that blend, and I have not tried it myself. Nice, Zippo. And let's also keep Todd and his family in our prayers as well. Todd, thank goodness, his health is holding up. He's doing good. It's not a health-related thing, but we just want to keep him in our prayers always. He's a good guy. Now we just, I always just keep in mind that I hope everything works as it should for all of you. Well, I will keep you in my thoughts and prayers as well, recovering. What happened to you, bud? I missed the last place I worked. I did a lot of ordering for most of the grocery store. Did a ton of stocking. Ordered a lot of the stuff the bosses would order. I got to work with vendors without having to run it by my boss. Just be noisy over there.
Sorry.
Be noisy. It's fine. Crinkle papers. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Welsh. Prayers for them as well. Is that what are you going to send that to your sister?
No, I just want to try. What do you think this is?
I don't know. That string for that is not long enough for me to tie your hands together.
Would you stop
I didn't
that?
say anything. It was the cat. He ran over there. See his tail? That's an ominous, sneaky
No,
tail
I don't see it.
by the couch, by the air conditioner. He's waving at you.
No, I just.
Hey, Mike. Good to see you, brother. Welcome back in, man.
Maybe tonight's not
The night to do it. Oh, it slides out. They give you, so you put the, no. So the little piece, okay, so you stretch the fabric over that first ring, the small one. That's one circle.
And then this
Goes around it and you tighten it. Why do I know more about that than you? It's because my mom does that stuff.
Because your mom does it. I don't ever do this. That looked fun and eat. Well,
That's right, recovering. Gans, damn it. It's Mon Claude.
I just want to try to teach myself something new. And since it's going to be snowing and cold.
And we have to do a big shout out to the people that have sent Todd tobaccos. Some for his giveaway and some for himself. And I know as well as all you guys do that when you receive something like that, no matter how your day's going, it always makes it better. And so I want to thank you guys. Everyone, whoever sees this later on, everyone who has contributed to Todd and other people, thank you. It's always good to make a nice person smile. If you bring it over here, I'll hook it up for you.
I think I can get it.
It's the headphones. You're distracting yourself with technology. Then why are they in your ears? Because you're going to get that done and then set it up. Nice, Welsh.
Kind of annoying.
All right, let's see what's this.
I think I got it by accident.
Oh, I love when things work by accident. It means they're meant to happen. I don't remember what I threw in this. I blended something good, threw it in a jar, and didn't label it, but that's whatever.
Wait, I think I did it all by accident. And then you want this, like,
I don't know, that smells
tight,
good.
right?
Yeah, just tight enough to hold you want the fabric taut.
What's that?
Like
Snug?
firm across, yeah. In the middle where you're going to do the stitching, you want to make, so just kind of pull on edges before you tighten it the rest of the way. You want the middle fabric where you're going to work to be nice and snug. Yeah. Oh, it's a weird angle. Oh man, we got cracked pepper.
No.
Dang it. I was going to say, I'll smoke that. Mabu shut me down. She's,
Why didn't you do that up there?
because I forgot about it.
So, like this, or it needs to be tighter.
That should be fine. Just firm enough for you to work on it because you want it to cooperate.
This material's kind of neat.
That might be my John's English in that jar because that's what it smelled like. Zippo heard you. He heard that matter of fact. No. The boss has spoken. Oh, it's nice of you, Todd. And you deserve everything good you get, brother. Now this Mordor has been jarred from May of last year. It smells awesome. And I've got a little bit of a disc of the pressed batch I did on top of the loose stuff. So whatever I want to do, I got all in the same jar. The voice behind the curtain. That's right. The taut curtain. You got it. Zippo said, this Mordor, wow. The Latakia improves the room note vastly. Less horse dookie and more incense. It's Uruk-hai dung instead. That's right. That is right, Zippo. I wish I would have thought of that. Not gonna lie. Yeah, first blend was pretty good. I'd give that a personal around a 3. My usual review, I'd give probably a 2. It's not or maybe 2.5. It's not the best, not the worst. I've just got other blends that are more flavorful, like Mordor. So I'm going to dive into those a little more. Heavy rolling Mordor. You got to say it like you're an angry dwarf. You're just angry all the time. I got some more Lord of the Rings blends. One uses Warhorse Red, and I need to find more of that. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Well, she's been around my garage a lot, though. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I joke in that voice, or halfway of that voice. My alter ego version is a little different. But he's been around all week. Oh, my goodness. I forgot how good. I always forget how good the Mordor blend is. I just remember it's good. Every time I smoke it, I'm like, dang. Yeah, nice and incensey. Very nice. While quoting Whispers in the Dark. That sounds like something Schmeagol would say. He'd be like, Whispers in the Dark. Rrrr. I've only had the Warhorse bar, I think it was, whatever the red one was, and I enjoyed it. And it's in my Aragorn blend. And that was, I don't even think I have any left. If I do, it's no more than a good sized pipe full. And we've got a White Wizard blend and a Two Towers blend and Samith Null, which is the Chamber of Fire in Mount Doom. Got that blend, which is really cool because it does that blend kind of ties to the Mordor blend. It may have had a kick, but it didn't kick me well, so I'm okay with that. Hey, Piper said, how you doing, brother? Good to have you. Oh, man. Yeah, Rivendell and from the Country Squire, the By the Fire. Those two, I could smoke through those fast. Rivendell was awesome. Oh, nice, Zippo. I put my notebook where I was blending Todd's stuff, so I actually have that upstairs, but I'm not going to worry too much about it tonight. I'm relaxing tonight. I finally had a pretty dang good day. So I'm taking it easy. My wife left me in charge of my dad again bravely for a little bit, and she said, no ladders and no tools. You can't do nothing. So I kind of just helped him a bit, when he was on the ladder. Just put my hand near his back just to help steady him and stuff. And he was steady anyway. He didn't need me to do that, but he hung the lights and I supervised, and my neighbor said, man, you didn't get the lights hung yet? You're not a good supervisor. And I said, no, the help needed lunch first. But then he hung half the lights. They did really good. Oh, that would be awesome, Zippo. We got Lord of the Rings. We got some other themes. I got a few different in my blend repertoire, if that's the word. But I haven't thought of doing D&D spell tome. That'd be an awesome theme. And that gives you so much freedom to play with the blends and just have it come out with whatever. I'm going to go grab a bottle of water. I'll be right back with you, fellas. Ooh. Yes. Before I go get the drink, I got to tell you the drink. That sounds like I'm going to go get some booze. Who knows? Anyway. Yes. Said, I think you're going to really enjoy Hearth and Home Berry Nice. That is the best berry flavored blend that I have ever had. It's when you hit around a year of age, especially at like 14 months, it turns to blueberry. So, I enjoyed it right off the bat, but it seems like at 14 months, and it's not a really tangy one. It can get tangy if you blend it with certain things, but it's not near as tangy as even Lane Dark Red can be tangier than that. But about 14 months, it turns to blueberry, and it's fantastic. So you can have a lot of fun blending it with other stuff. A really nice, easy blend is a little bit of Carter Hall. Well, more Carter Hall, but then sprinkle in some Berry Nice, and even fresh, that is really, really nice. It slows down Carter Hall, and altogether the flavors are very comforting. The room note's a very nice, comfortable room note. And yeah, when it ages and turns to blueberry kind of smell more, oh man, that does wonders for certain blends. I made one that was blueberry muffin, and that was fantastic. So very good choice. I think I've owned about 2 pounds of Berry Nice, and I should definitely order more. I'm just out of my ordering season for the time being. So I'm trying to order some stems and get some packages out. So that's why I was working on some wood stuff. I made a nice couple of pipe rests. One I really liked. It looked more like a little coaster. It was about that thick. And used some wood tools and a sander and just made a nice little pipe rest in my garage. And so I'll work on some pipes, and I'm probably going to have to order stems next month because I really want to get some boxes out. I gotta take care of, I gotta get in touch with again, Smoking Cardboard. We did a trade, and I owe him. I know he has been so patient with me. Sometimes about every week, my mind picks something to forget, and that's happened a few times in a row. And I owe him. I owe him a nice box, and I need to get some of Todd's blends, duplicates. So I need to do Todd's blends, but a double batch. And I'm going to send him my English with his 5 blends, and then the 5 blends, another version, or not another version, dang it, a duplicate setup of it for his giveaway. And then I need to send Cascadian Piper some of the blends he's responsible for because he's made some great blends. We all like muffin. That's right. Ohio's sweet blueberry muffins. Yeah, I'm not sure what the measurement would be said with the Carter Hall, but the way I look at it, I just take an empty tin size roughly and just gently kind of fill it out almost full with Carter Hall, and then I really just take a couple little bundles and just sprinkle it around in that, and they're good together. I probably around 20-25% would be the Berry Nice, something like that. Not a large amount because I didn't want it to get hot or tangy. I just wanted to try it. But as long as you're just easy going on the piping, it hasn't gotten tangy for me. I can't say it wouldn't for somebody else, but it didn't for me. And it was delicious, man. Yeah, Cascadian Falls and Fish Trap Creek. My goodness, that's good. And he helped me with a couple others. I don't recall the names. I'll have to go through the notebook, but I'm thinking since Mabu wants to send a packet to her, or a package to her sister, if we can get it mailed Friday, we will with the samples. If not, it'll have to be next week because it is snowing right now again on top of snow and ice. So we'll just see how it turns out. I was really hoping last week, and man, when I cut my hand, it isn't a big deal, but that day was a busy day anyway. I hadn't given myself a few days to recover from doing too much. And so everything together just kind of wore me out. So I got a couple of blends done for Todd. The first 2, which are in my notebook, I think. Let's see. Unless I wrote them down here as well. Oh, no, they're in my notebook. I got the first 2 blends made and in a box waiting to send to Todd. So I got to finish and then get Cascadians blended. And that's stuff for me, packaging stuff. I don't know what it is. It's just, it takes me so long because it's a long thought. It's a lot of thought processes. So is speaking apparently tonight. That's what takes the time. It isn't even the act of doing it. It's just, I got to think about it all. And that's my weak spot, is having to put too much thought into stuff. But I'm going to go grab some water, and I'll be right back. The pink curtain, more like the pinky curtain. That's where he's hiding. Oh, it's great to see you, Welsh. It really is, brother. I've got some of your guys' video, well, a lot of videos on my watch later list. And now that I have more energy tonight, I should be able to get to some. Because I do pretty well at keeping up to that. I think I only have 200 videos in there. I watch them and I forget to delete them once I remove them from the list. But I missed a lot of videos. But we put a lot of thought and time into that shop. I told my dad, for 5 weeks or so, it's a huge difference. The shop looks nice. It's blizzarding and windy outside. You don't hear it. You don't feel the wind blowing through the walls anymore. And you did. Oh, I'm honored, Welsh. Thank you, buddy. It's a pleasure to have you. I mean, that shop, I'm saying 80 years old and it was moved. It had, on just one wall, it had studs that were 8 inches apart and up to 28 inches and everywhere in between. Every piece of panel, we had 19 wall panels and 12 ceiling panels. 6 of the ceiling panels had to be cut in half, and all but 3 out of the 19 wall panels had to be cut in some way. It's not a straight shop. The one corner from the ground is, you can have your panel snug against the wall, against the corner beam, but it's off 2 inches at the top. And we braced it, but during those few days, we had crazy wind. I mean, it was moving part of the shop. It was wicked. We used about 8 tubes of silicone. We used tons of foam, lots of insulation. Thank goodness the insulation was cheap and it was great insulation. But it was like my dad would fill in any gaps. And then the next day after there'd been some wind, there were more, you could see light in more spots. So there was a lot of that to deal with. And then we had beams. There are a few seams in the shop where there's no board behind them and on the panels. And even some where some of the beams came out, some of the wall 2x4s jettisoned out a little bit compared to others. And we just said, you know what, if anybody tries to make a big deal out of it or says, oh, you know, you didn't do any good, we'll show them the 2 doors that work just fine. Because we worked hard on that. And that was a ton of mental work for me. Oh, I hadn't tried that one, buddy. Yeah. But the good news is recovering. It ain't going to fall over now. We put beams in that thing. We have cross braces. We have stabilized that shop. We got a new roof on it. It's got a ceiling for the first time ever. It is braced. And even just the panels being screwed in are going to help with the overall stability. It doesn't move. Nothing happen, you know. It's all redone. That thing is going to last quite a while now. Has a nice foundation. They did a very good job with the foundation. Whoever put it in did a great job. That is one of the best foundations I've ever found in a building. They did a fantastic job. Oh, good for you, Zippo. Sounds good, buddy. Thanks for being here with us. You're welcome to finish the bowl with us. But if not, I understand. Oh, 30 more. Okay, cool. It's a slow burning blend, man. We get a lot of tornadoes, yeah. We haven't had many close to us in a while. I think in the last year we had 3, but they didn't affect where we're at. They were near us, but they didn't affect where we're at. We had, yeah, we've been very blessed and lucky. I will say that. Thank God, literally. I don't like to use his name in vain, but I really am thanking God that we have had the luck we had. Hell, one year we had a twister go right across, right down the driveway. Years ago. It wasn't very strong wind, thank goodness, but it didn't tear much up. And oh my gosh. Oh man, Zippo. Yeah, did you guys see that deal? I want to say it was last year. There was a place that got flooded. This guy was putting sandbags and all sorts of stuff around his house, and sure enough, he didn't get flooded. Yeah, we do RD. We have more than one shelter. We have a cemented in, full sheltered basement kind of pantry where we have a freezer. That's the safest room if there were to be a tornado. And then we have a reinforced well pit if we're outside that we could go into. So we've got a couple. And if you're anywhere around here, we've got pretty good ditches. So you got a deep ditch to lay in. So, I mean, at least there's those if you have to get by. But we've got, yeah. The guy that made this place did think of that. Now, the guy was not a carpenter or a builder, but he did a good job. Welsh, you know, you got it, buddy. Oh, man, Zippo. Yeah, we have a very good drainage system here, even in the country. Now, our road crews are not the best. They don't train them worth a dang. They're always mad at the drivers for everything. I mean, that's how it works. Blame the drivers for everything, but then you don't teach them how to blade the road. So a lot of times they scrape the gravel all off to one side or in the ditch. But despite that, our ditches are pretty decent. And in town or out here, it rarely actually floods. We did have one a couple years ago, well, about 5 or 6 years ago, that was crazy because it was like the Mississippi River running across a road in a couple of spots. And we had to turn at this road we don't usually take, and we had to drive through someone's yard, kind of curve around the water and go that way and get as far as we could, and we made it. And the worst part was we went all the way, well, it was that way, all the way that way on a different road, had to go all the way to this other town, come up a paved road, turn on our dirt road. And as I was driving at the time, you're watching solid dirt road that's been there with great clay and great foundation for a long time flood away between your wheels. It was unreal. But we've really only had 3 floods in my lifetime. 2 of them were in town. One wasn't as bad as the other. They cleared quickly. And I remember my parents had a very, very mild amount of damage in their basement. It did get to the basement floor. But aside from that, we've been very fortunate. We've gotten hail more than we've gotten floods. We've gotten tornadoes, but they're, like I said, we've been very lucky that they haven't been right where we're at. And you know, we just keep hoping. But you're right, Welsh. The pipes and the tobacco go in one emergency cellar. I don't know. More, you know, I do have a rocking chair down there, a nice old one from my mom's mom. So I could sit there and smoke a pipe and help my wife relax and make sure she doesn't get too worried. And I've had experience around that stuff before. So I know when you have something like that happen, it's a whole different deal when you have somebody there to assure you that actually has been in the stuff. Yeah, there you go, RD. Oh, awesome, Zippo. Well, welcome back, Jeff. Good to have you, buddy. Yeah, my dad said we're gonna move. We'll make some spots for your tobaccos. We're gonna have a pipe display. But I told my brothers we have an open door policy. They're welcome to come in and make stuff. My brother's talking about making stuff to sell to the pipe community, and I'll share that with you when it's all ready. This would be my older brother, but not the oldest brother. And I get nervous because my brothers, I'm not worried about my brothers when they're on their own, but they have very questionable taste in friends. So I don't want to put a Phil Rivara pipe out there or some really nice pipes out there and have them go out there. I do not trust them. They're the kind of guys that when they get bored, they shoot stuff, which could be funny, except that they, think it's a good idea to aim a shotgun into a tree and blast a bunch of yard birds out of it for no reason. So it took us 15 years to get the birds to come back and be singing and happy. I don't want anybody doing that. There's no reason to kill the birds here. That's true, Zippo. Oh, I missed one. Let's see. Oh, nice. You got a pipe rack. Cool. Yeah, we're the pipe display. We have an old entertainment center. Oak one, if it's the one I'm thinking. We've had two, and we got rid of one. And then we're going to fix up this other one and put glass shelves and stuff. I believe that quote, Zippo. That's a good one, RD. Leave that curtain alone, you'll go blind. Yeah, and then my one brother has a friend that is not allowed to be here. I'm done working around or allowing people who are a-holes into my life in any way I can help it. So yeah, I want to buy some. I gotta wait. I don't know who said that, but they did. That's right, RT. Take my supper, but don't take my tobaccos. But the one guy, my brother used to play computer games a lot. And so when I was a kid and he was a teenager, he'd take me with him to his friend's house. They do LAN parties and play games and stuff. So he included me. And I was doing good. It was my first time playing whatever game we were playing at the time. And his friend was just being a jerk. And, you just kind of let it go. Years later, the guy's still a jerk. The guy, now, in my humble opinion, it doesn't matter what kind of person you were before. If you have kids it's time to man up and take care of your responsibilities. That's how I look at it. The guy had 2 kids, and he vocally in front of them does not like children, treats them poorly, verbally. And I had enough. He was out here working on a trailer. My dad bought a frame for a trailer. My brother was going to build this nice little trailer to pull behind their car. And so they could go camping. So his wife would be more comfortable and they could go camping. And so my brother built, it was just a little trailer frame, but he built the trailer and he had 2 friends come out. One of them's a ding dong, but he's a very nice guy. He was helping. I was helping. The other guy was just bad-mouthing kids left and right. And I invited him to leave. And wouldn't quit. And I told my dad, I said, I know this is your place. I don't want him out here. I said, because he comes out here on the wrong day, he isn't leaving. I'll use him as fertilizer on the field. But exactly, Zippo. I've known guys that had a one-night stand with a person, and the person got pregnant. And they raised those kids, I know guys that have married them and guys who haven't, who have successfully raised very nice children. It can be done. There are some people in the world that we know who cannot have kids. So God does not make mistakes. A child is not a mistake. Maybe a person making poor choices, that was their personal mistake, but not the kids. So you don't blame the kids. You grow a pair. You take care of your responsibilities. Drives me nuts. Oh, Welsh, kind of Welsh. I was facing this way for some time, but I haven't moved rooms. I got my boxes to send packages out organized. I did do some rearranging, but haven't moved rooms. I did do my Google Meet in the garage today, in my new garage, as I just jabbed the correct side of my hand, thank goodness. And that was very nice. So that will become more of where I do some lives and stuff like that down the road here. Amen, Zippo. And you teach kids things, you teach them how to work and survive in the world. You do the best you can, and you support them the right way if you can, as much as you can. That doesn't mean you always give them free rides or anything like that, but we had a friend, my wife's friend and her husband tried for kids for 10 or 11 years. They tried everything you could fathom. Could not have kids. And I told them, I said, just quit focusing on it and trying. I think you're getting too stressed. Miraculously, they were able to have a kid, and they were able to have another one. But it took them 13 or 14 years of trying and all sorts of procedures and other things done to have kids. My dad had to have help so he could have kids. We wouldn't be here. My brothers and I wouldn't be here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the move is off, buddy. There was a place we were looking at, and we decided to wait a little longer, and it did end up selling. And then there was another place for sale, and they were asking kind of high. And when we went and looked at it, we realized it was going to take $50,000 or $60,000 of work to do everything that they were hiding in the pictures. There was a lot of stuff to do. They needed to do plumbing. The water system was all screwed up. They needed a new electricity in the whole place. And we're like, we do not need to go spend or get in, $200,000 of debt just to move. And then another place came for sale, and that was sold. That got on market. We barely saw it, and it said sold. So, but we're planning on staying here. We looked at all sorts of options, but my dad and I just redid our garage, and that'll move some things from his shop over to here, make room for him. I'll move some things from here into there. And then we're going to redo our basement, because really all we have to do in the basement is just get rid of old carpet. And we would cut that into like 2-foot strips, make it easy to carry out the door, put linoleum in it. And then eventually we're going to have to tear out the chimney, and we'll put a new heat system in the basement where the current stove is, and have a chimney go out the side or something, and do like a pellet stove or something like that down the road. But that's going to be a year or two. And then we'll be able to clean it all up and use it for a bedroom and have a decent basement. So who knows? We looked at all our options, and to really add on a room, which would be ideal, you're looking at least $100,000, and we just don't have the kind of money to do any of that. Yeah. And recovering, from what I know of you, you're a very nice guy, and I think you'd have done well. For the record, I think you'd have done well, buddy. Oh, nice, Zippo. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to Welsh. Nice, Zippo. In Google Meet, you guys should have seen it. Was hilarious. We were talking about extracting oils from certain plants, and one of the guys was joking. He said, I do this and this to pull this out of this, and I go, oh, so you're saying you use the pull out method? And so I teased him. I said, it hasn't failed us. Congrats, RD. You done gone crazy with 2. Gotcha, Welsh. Life happens, bud. Life happens. I had one friend that he was adopted. He was 3 years old. Whatever he dealt with by 3 years old affected him enough. And very nice guy, just kind of lost in the world. Had great adoptive parents. I told my parents, I said, if you guys weren't my parents, if I had been adopted, I would have wanted to be adopted to those people. Nice church-going family, warm and loving. They had one child and adopted two. The father was strict, but not too strict. He was strict enough to give you responsibility. And he he decided, and a lot of people do this, he wanted to find his birth mother, and he found her, and he went to live with her. And he didn't gain the appreciation of he didn't give appreciation towards his adopted family that he should have. He went to see her, traveled across states. I think he traveled around 30 hours away. And he lived with his mom for a while, with she and her kids. And he spent some time with her, and he said, man, we just really have nothing in common. And I could imagine, a teenager, 17 shows up, 18 shows up. You have no history together. The mom has a bunch of kids, and she's working and just didn't really have much time for him, but he went to a beach while he was there, and she said, I'll take you 10 minutes away, but that's where I'm taking you. So he rode a bus back, and there was just no connection or anything there. And he came back and went a bit off the deep end, just kind of disappeared. But he should have come back and hugged his adopted parents and said, thank you guys so much for the life you've given me or tried to give me. Man, Welsh, you don't look it, buddy. But congratulations. RD. Oh, nice, Zippo. Yeah, and I've known friends that have done that where, they have a kid and they just, well, nope, I'm not going to take care of it. And that just drives me crazy. I no longer have them in my life. Sometimes you're sent things. We were talking about this in Google Meet. God sends you things he knows you can handle. Oh, welcome in, country gentleman. Good to have you, buddy. Oh, I got you, Welsh. Jeez, RD. You tall punk. I'm like 5'10". So what are you smoking or doing this fine evening, country gentleman? And I enjoy your name. I'm smoking one of my blends. It's called Mordor, and it's 50% H&H Old Dark Fired and 50% H&H Latakia Flake. It's a long smoke, and it's a good smoke. Yeah, the more the merrier, man. My lives are every Tuesday and Saturday. And yeah, Zippo smoking the same blend. And yeah, it's just been a good day. I totally forgot what I was going to say, so. But oh yeah, my lives are usually Tuesday and Saturday. Ohio Piper has been covering some Saturdays for me. One weekend I wasn't feeling good. Another, I ran out of energy, man. Had a little cut on my hand, and had a long day and I was like, I ain't up for it. But usually it's around 10 p.m. Eastern, sometimes 11 Eastern. We also do a pipe group. You're welcome to join. It's every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, usually goes 2 hours. But you're welcome to come and go as you need to. And it's awesome. It's always very nice. We just had the first Tumultuous Tuesday Google Meet pipe group in our newly renovated garage. RD. Yeah, I appreciate it, Jeff. Jeff's been looking out for me. And he even offered me a Sunday slot following Saturday if I was up to doing a live. Good looking out, Jeff. But yeah, I do. I was doing more regular videos, more scheduled videos, such as Middle Earth Monday or WeChat Wednesday, stuff like that. And I just tied up a lot of time getting busy. So it's been good because I've been able to spend a lot of time with my dad. And we've been working hard on that garage the last 5-6 weeks. We really changed it. And I'll be making pipes soon as my hand heals, probably a week or so, week and a half maybe. And I started on a pipe and then I had an accident. So that's just how it goes. But I do a lot of blending. Zippo's been doing some blending too. I mean, we all in here kind of dabble here and there, DDT's been doing a lot of blending as well. And yeah, about to get into pipe making, so it's good. It's keeping me busy, and I grew up working all the time. Always had 2 or 3 jobs, and just I don't like sitting still. But I have epilepsy and other types of seizures, so I'm supposed to do, if I do something or overdo it one day, I'm supposed to rest for 2 or 3 days. It's very hard to sit down and not get outside and do stuff. Drives me crazy. So I do sleep a lot better knowing I've done something, even if it's something little like moved a bench over from one shop to another or hung a few panels and then called it a day. I mean, whatever I can do, I like to do. Oh, awesome, man. I can't recall if I have I'll have to double check. I think I'm subbed to you. I'll have to I've been behind on videos for a couple weeks. But I'll have to check out your stuff more, man. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of your videos, but I'll have to go back and look. The hand is doing good, Zippo. Very good. We figured the deepest part of the cut was about probably just under a quarter an inch. It was pretty deep because when it bled, it was dark. So that was my only worry. And then of course I held it above my heart to slow the bleeding and the inflammation. Our first aid was Burger King napkins pressed against the cut with some snow to make it cold. And then my dad got the first aid kit and we got a Band-Aid and some wrapping stuff on it. And it happened Saturday, but it's stayed very clean and I think it's healing very well. So I have no problem. Like today, I can move a lot more than I could. I kind of got to just keep the thumb a little straight because the more that moves, then it gets very agonizing. But I'm glad your back is getting better, Jeff, because you took a heck of a spill there, buddy. Well, cool. Country Gentleman, I do save all my videos in playlists on my channel. I have a lot. I've done a lot of blending. Now, I did block some of my blends. Now, if I make you blends or whatever, I'm glad to share the components. You know, feel free to ask. I'll share with you guys. But I had somebody trying to claim a lot of my blends and not use them the way we agreed. And so I did have to block some of my blending videos. But I've done a few flavored blends. I got an apple blend. I did a lemon blend with real lemon juice, a splash of rum, and I've got a really great Burley. Yeah, Virginia Burley blend that is a wonderful base blend. It's it's great on its own. You get like a vanilla hint, and it's very receptive to flavors. So just the cap of rum and for like a 3 or 4 ounce deal with 2 whole lemons, juice were squeezed into it. 5 days, it was ready to smoke, and it smelled like lemon chocolate cake. Tasted like it, and then when I added Perique to it, you actually got lemon pepper. It was amazing. And then I made hundreds of blends, man. So if you got any questions, feel free to ask. It seems I've been very fortunate enough to be able to pick out a lot of stuff from tobaccos. I got blends like crazy, man, all the way from, I don't know, about anything you could think of. I've made all sorts of types, every type of vapor, whether you like bready focused or grass focused or a little bit of both, or up to cracked pepper. Zippo's made some videos. He did a Yabo from me, and he described the blends very well. I just made a pistachio blend that was a soaring success, and I don't add toppings. So very, very picky on toppings. I know they can bother people, so I don't do them. But yeah, most of my blends, the vast majority, do not have toppings or anything like that. So if you have any question, man, I'm happy to help any way I can. My email is in my about section, so if you'd like to join in the pipe group on Tuesday, shoot me an email, and I'll just be able to email a link to you. And it's a great time. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he did another one on the pistachio blend. So he's got the 2 videos for that for reviews. Yeah, and Irish coffee turned out fantastic. Zippo has tried it. I've shared the recipe with some other guys who've tried it, and my friend Dark Lord has tried it, and we've all liked it. You know, not everybody's gonna like the same stuff, but I've definitely, most of my blends are liked, so I take a lot of pride in that. But we're happy to help, man. And it's nice to have you with us. And I was able to get a great deal on a lathe and got everything I need to make it up, to make pipes. I actually started the other day, and I had one of my myoclonic seizures where I just do a quick twitch. So the piece of wood I was holding, I was shaping the bowl out, and I was using a hand tool to get it out, and where I held my hand, I shouldn't have gotten cut. Like I had it ready, so if it slipped, it would hit more wood and wouldn't get my hand. And the problem with those dang seizures, you black out for a moment. Sometimes your mind gets back on track, so it was remembering what I was doing. Somehow I went over the wood and right into my hand. So it'll be a couple weeks before I'm back on, but I did make a cute little corn cob wherever I put it that works very well. Oh, certainly, Zippo. You're already in there, brother. And I greatly appreciate that. You guys have been so awesome. I've had a lot of offers, a lot of support on the pipes. I'm excited to get there. I'll probably end up doing 2 practice pipes just that I'll keep. This one I know I'm doing the wrong way. I'm just practicing the shaping and trying to find kind of the way I want to do it to begin with. I can't use lots of machinery at all. Got to be supervised all the time. So it's just one of those things. But practicing the shaping with this one, we got some bigger pieces of wood we got to go gather when the snow melts, which will be a week because we're snowing now again. But we'll get some and cut them up, and I'll do it the right way. I'm just practicing. I'm doing olive wood pipes right now, some Russian olive. And they've dried out naturally enough. So pretty dang close. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I was worried that maybe there'd be some wood in the cut, but it was actually good that it hit enough to bleed to flush anything out. Very clean. It's one of the best cuts I got, I guess. One of the deepest, but one of the best to heal. So it's nice and clean. And I'm stubborn. My dad said, we may need to go get stitches. And boy, that made me mad. I'm like, I'm not getting stitches. I said, if the bleeding stops, I won't get stitches. And it stopped enough. Yeah, I actually landed a 1940 lathe. It runs just wonderfully. Very quiet, wonderful, wonderful lathe. Came with all sorts of replacement parts and gears. The gears are in new condition. My dad said that today too. And somebody in the Google Meet said that too. Just give me the staple gun. I was like, yeah, we'll do a staple gun over the big parts, and then we'll just fill in the gap with super glue. Awesome, RD. Oh, I got you. Hand me down the staple gun and the bourbon. Come on. This dang cut is turning into a crevasse. We must be quick. Yeah, so luckily, I get delved into stuff pretty well. So the blending just took off like crazy. And I think that's how the pipes are going to go. I really feel like most of my pipes are actually going to be freehand. I've done everything in my life more or less freehand that has been successful. Like we used to make a lot of wooden toys. Did it all freehand. My dad would run the saw. We have a bandsaw he'd use. And just kind of go from there. Oh, yeah, man, me too. I about ate it up. And what was really great was my dad. So the guy that owned this lathe, his dad owned it. And he took it with him to start a business. He actually was in charge of figuring out the first bean harvester. Or he's responsible, not in charge. He was responsible for it. He was a heck of a machinist. He even has what would be the machinist Bible. We got his toolbox. I mean, tools that they just don't make to that quality anymore. Dials, all sorts of stuff. And we just got to clean it off. You know, it got sawdust from some last minute paneling we did, and we moved it over from one shop to the other after we had it cleaned. So we just need to clean some stuff off a little bit, but damn near new condition. And oh, it's fantastic. But when I do get to the point to where I'm comfortable with the drilling I'm going to do and that they're going to be good smokers and I can make them look nice, I'm going to freehand a bunch of pipes. Like I'll practice on a couple, and once I'm comfortable with the drilling and I find the right system for me, it's a matter of time until it takes off. Because the freehand winging is the word. I used to wing things all the time, and my most successful moments were because I winged something and nobody knew it. Because I was a good BSer. But oh, there you go, RT. And we're talking about doing kits where, because I also make metal tampers, and the shop is, now we got a thermostat. I mean, it went from one outlet and no heat, wind blowing through the shop, moving in the wind, to insulated, sturdy, can't hear any wind outside. I mean, the other day it was blizzarding and we had no idea. Got a wafting heater, another heater, got the lights in there that I need, and it's awesome. I had a friend cut himself with a sword on his shoulder and he super glued it. And that was a bad cut. I was squeamish for that one. Yeah, 1940 lathe, all the equipment, the guy's machinist toolbox. I mean, just stuff that would blow your mind. So I'll definitely have to do another video and show you guys. Anyway, so the guy, oh Welsh, it was a pleasure, brother. I hope you continue to recover well, and I look forward to the next pipe with you, man. You take it easy. Thanks for staying on and BSing with me. I appreciate you, man. That's very true, Zippo. I believe that firmly. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, so anyway, so this guy moved to a town nearby and wanted to start a business, and nobody was working with him, so he moved this way. And he started this business, a machine shop, started doing stuff. Turns out my dad worked in the building he started right before my dad went to school for teaching. He worked for the guy, so he recognized the name. Turns out, so we own this lathe now together from a guy he had worked with who started a company, and my dad's farmed. So it's just really neat, the history that we have. And it turned out he was a pipe smoker, because we found these 1950 medical filters with one missing in his toolbox. How awesome. But he had everything in there, man. Bits of different types of steel. He made his own tools. I mean, people that run lathes and are really good with them have even said, God, that guy knew exactly what he was doing. He was brilliant. Well, and that's a sad truth. We need vocational schools. I went to school and I was burnt out, man. I didn't go to great schools. I had okay teachers. There were like 4 or 5 out of between when I started school and when I went to college that were worth a dang. And like my oldest brother, school was not for him. He needed a vocational school and he was able to do that. And not everybody can learn from schools. What's starting bid? Well, for oh, hey Patrick. Thanks for jumping on. Great to see you, buddy. Let's see. For olive wood pipes, if I can make a good one to start with, we're trying different ideas. But I'm gonna have a line of pipes that are affordable, reasonable cost. I'd like to offer that we cover shipping with them. But honestly, when I'm comfortable with them selling, they gotta look good, and number one, they gotta smoke good, real good. I'm extremely fortunate that Phil Rivara and a couple other pipe makers have offered to give me tips and help me out. I've got all sorts of notes. I need to order stems. It'll probably be next month when I order the stems because I'm trying to get some packages out this month. But we'd like to keep them pretty dang affordable as possible. I want to make some pipes that are shop pipes. I'd like to make some unstained as well as stained, some rusticated. I've got some cool ideas for rusticated pipes. We got ways to sandblast them already. Oh, same here, man. And they were telling me I didn't pay attention in class, and I got on the honor roll my senior year because I was so tired of being there. I whooped rear in my classes. I was ready to get out of there, man. I wasn't learning anything. What our science teacher one year was illegally selling cattle organs online in class. We did not have great teachers. Yes, and I did not forget, Patrick, I still have 2 for you. I got that snake one to finish. And with this shop and having a workspace set up, I'll be able to comfortably and safely do the work. I tried to do the work inside, but I was going to get metal bits everywhere. So I didn't want to do that. And when it got cold, that's why we said, you know what? We got to get this shop done. We need a warm place for winter. And with the seizures, I got to watch lighting. And it was like one day of the week you go out, it's too bright. Maybe it's a day I have light sensitivity, or it's a day I tolerate it pretty well. But I couldn't be outside if it was bad weather. If I got too hot or in the sun too much, that can set them off. I can stare into space. So that's what turned around. But I did not. I think every day on your tampers, Patrick. So we're really gunning to get this shop done so I can get back on them. But we'd like to make a kit where we have man, you guys are generous. We'd like to offer, for a certain amount of money, you can get a leather pipe pouch, a pipe, a tamper, and then separately, I'd probably gift a random blend or something that I've made to someone that picks up a pipe. So I think it could be really cool and go a long way. Yeah, and there are two other pipe makers. Tim was one of them. I'm trying to remember the other guy's name. I never can. Yep, and Eric Weaver has offered tips on very well. There's a guy named Tim and a guy named Jim been making pipes a long time, especially Jim. And he was offering me lots of advice. I've got some wonderful resources to reach out for. Oh, thank you guys. Man, you guys are the bomb. I appreciate each and every one of you. No, nowhere right now. My dad's he's gonna set up a deal. We were doing SV creations for the pipe bags. But my mom, being the caretaker for her sister, has eaten up a ton of her time. So my dad and I are going to take that over, and basically it'll come back into play, and then that will be where you guys can email. I'll let everybody know when it's back up and going. You can email me there or my dad, and then we can be in touch with you guys for pipes. And I'll make a big announcement video. I'd like to make about 4 or 5 pipes before I announce it and show what's for sale. But my dad and I used to do lots of woodwork, so that's nothing new. So, and he used to do a lot of machinery work. I did for a couple of years. So we've got a lot of experience to start on. It was like second nature starting to make the first practice pipe. Yeah, amen to that, Zippo. I'm just, I love Petersons. I've got Petersons. I've got the Savinellis. I've got all sorts of brands. I've got a pipe. I'll have to get it down. I think I put it in the drawer in my little glasses case pipe holder deal. So Country Gentleman, I'll have to definitely show you that one of these days. I've got a bowl cap from possibly 1941. A wonderful pipe that smokes incredibly well. And I've been chatting with Jack Ryan as well, been able to catch a couple of his lives. He is very helpful, very nice. I mean, Jay Mouton's a heck of a nice guy too. He makes gorgeous pipes. Been in touch with Boswell's a bit. Of course, they've been busy. Those guys crank out those gorgeous pipes every week. So that's the goal. Oh, did I miss it? I was trying to check yesterday too. Oh, I did. Only read half of that. I lost track. Awesome, Zippo. Well, heck yeah, man. Yeah, and Dan Lopez was doing some blending too. He took some Mississippi River with 30% taste of summer. That was a very nice blend. It was his idea. It's called Dan's Pistachio. It was his idea. He said, I've tried blends. So if you aren't familiar, Country Gentleman, with Dan Lopez, try to find his channel. He did a review of Dan's Pistachio. He and Zippo did great reviews. And he said, man, I've contacted people. He said, I've had renowned blenders try to make a pistachio blend and they couldn't do it. And it seems like it was a success because this stuff is like a bag of pistachios. It's fantastic. And so I'll toot my own horn here because I got pistachio, my wife got pistachio, and she she's the final verdict on some of my blends, because if she likes it, that's a huge achievement. I got her to like an English blend, and she hates the smell of English blends and the taste. And I made one for her that she liked. And and looking back, I should have just made her an aromatic blend and said it was English, but it would have been a little easier for me. But thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot. And it's just been a lot of years since I've been able to do any of this kind of stuff. I have to thank finding finally a wonderful neurologist, and I'm on Keppra, which is an amazing medication. But it's made a huge difference in the last year, and I missed doing stuff. I'm not doing an oh poor me, but just filling you in. I had West Nile necrotizing fasciitis. I had a dang gluten intolerance for a long time. And now if they finally figured out I've got epilepsy and a total of 5 types of seizures, no medication will get rid of them. There's no medication that will do it all. So I'm limited to what I can use for tools, but a sander and some hand tools are my best bet. And you guys wishing me luck and all the support means so much more to me than it probably would have years ago, because I went from working 2 or 3 jobs and farming and working my rear off to not being able to do anything for about 13 years, nine very difficult years. And it just feels good to be able to have these kinds of talks, like, can't wait to see the progress, can't wait to see the pipes. That stuff helps a lot, because when you go from working all the time to just sitting because you can't do anything, hearing it again that you're going to be doing something is just really nice reinforcement. It's almost like a realization again, like, cool, there's some things I can work on. So thank you, Zippo. Yeah, it's my next smoke. It is my next smoke. Every time I go by this jar, it sits mostly on my computer desk. But every time I see it, I'm like, I should smoke some of that today. And I'm like, I'll wait a little bit. But RD, you have a wonderful night, brother. I appreciate your time and always enjoy having you, man. Man, Zippo, you flatter me, brother. Yeah, and there's a nuttiness in it you rarely find in other blends. I think I got part of it in a blend or two, other than and a couple in mine, but yeah, this just nails it. But I appreciate that. You guys rock. Down to the ash, the fine white ash. I always love when you get a blend like that. I really love when it smokes clear to the dang draft hole and, doesn't damage the bowl or anything, but you turn and dump it out, and watching that waterfall of the white fine ash fall out, and you look down and there's no tobacco stuck. Everything smoked clear to the end. You get the most smoke out of it. I love that feeling. Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Awesome, Zippo. I can just send you some if you'd like, country gentleman. I can send you a sample, buddy. I'm going to be sending things out. I was hoping tomorrow. It's snowing quite a bit. I don't know if we'll be able to mail this week. I was hoping to even last week, But now that my wife is adding her sister onto the mail list, she's going to use the weekend to get some things gathered. So next week, I'll be sending some blends to Todd, Cascadian Piper, and I need to get something sent to Smoking Cardboard, but I need to get in touch with them again because I don't. Most blends will give him bite, but I want to find. I got to remember which blends he has to stay away from because I don't want to send him anything. You know, if I send somebody something, I don't want to send them samples and have them go, you know, get a couple of Latakia blends and find out Latakia bothers the heck out of them. I don't want to send anybody blends they wouldn't like. But this one's very, very helpful. So you can shoot me an email, man. Well, don't shoot an email, man, but you send me an email. It's in my about section. You know, just title it whatever. I mean, you could put who you are or whatever. And this weekend when I'm blending, I'll ask for your mailing address, and I'll just include you when I'm packaging things up and send you some. Because I should be, if I can't send out, I really don't see it that I can send things out tomorrow. Hopefully Friday, but we're supposed to get a whole bunch of snow here. So I can maybe get it out to you next week with everything and get everybody's stuff on the way. So if I'm already going to be blending that day, you know, I can do another blend. That's no problem. But it's in my about section, and then I can, you know, send you the link next Tuesday for the Google Meet. If you'd like to join, you're welcome to. Yeah, I'll send you a sample. I'm going to smoke some now because just thinking of it makes my mouth water, man. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome possum. I feel like that hasn't been said much. Time to bring it back. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the hard thing about that pistachio. You smoke a bowl and you're like, I need to get another bowl of that now. It's very difficult to acknowledge other blends. It's one of my best ones, I will admit that. The Mordor, that Dan Stout Vapor, that was a great one. That is a 70% Perique blend. Very, very good, tasty vapor. So those are three crowning achievements of the non-flavored blends. Cool. I look forward to it, buddy. And I'll get back to you either right when I get the email or this weekend. When I'm blending, I'll probably send an email. It works better in my mind if I ask the address and stuff while I'm blending because it's all fresh, or right when I'm about to blend, I can write it on the label. Because when I do my blending, I always do the same steps. It's just easier if I plan it all out. So I get addresses, put them on the envelopes. Then I go get all washed up, put gloves on, you know, and do all my blending there. I got my notes nearby, and I just blend, divvy it out, get the sandwich bags, you know, all that stuff, and then I'll be set to go. So, yeah, only 70% in that vapor. Can you believe that, Patrick? Well, Dan was like, I'm so tired of getting vapors that are almost all Virginia. And I said, what are you looking for? He said, I don't know, maybe something stout. I'm like, we'll see how stout we can make it. Oh, always a pleasure to share a pipe with you, Zippo. You're always welcome, brother. Thank you very much, and thanks for your time, buddy. You as well, man. What time is it? I strategically locked the time so I can't look at it with my tumbler from my brother-in-law. He got it from work for free or whatever and sent it, and they always leak with drinks, and I always tip them over. Great ashtrays. They last quite a while before I got to empty them out. Yeah, and if you're working on a blend or something, country gentlemen, you got any questions like I'm trying to go for this flavor or something like that, and you're not sure what step to take, email anytime, or I mean, you can message it doesn't matter. I'm on Instagram. It's all Briar'd up, and it just has the underscores or whatever between all Briar'd and up. And I'll gladly give you any advice I can, buddy. I'm very fortunate that the parts of my mind that are still working pretty well are the parts tied in with smell and taste and stuff like that. So it makes it really easy to go, oh, if I want that, I can use this type of Briar'd or this type or whatever. Yeah, so Mordor is 50% H&H Latakia flake and 50% HH Old Dark Fired. And I'm very proud of it for being a very simple blend. It takes all the negatives from Latakia, like how it can lace your tongue, and all the negatives from Old Dark Fired, where there aren't very many, but it can be harsh to some people or pretty strong. They mellow each other out, and it's this whole new blend. You wouldn't believe you're smoking Old Dark Fired or Latakia when those two are put together like that. A very long and deep, kind of rich smoke. Very, very nice. Yeah, I'm a Tolkien fan, man. I was doing a segment. I did Meerschaum Monday, and then I was also doing a segment called Middle Earth Monday. And then when I got busier, I just kind of kept it. I do as many as I can. I try to do a video a week, as many as I can, but then I try to keep at least the lives and the pipe meat. So even when I get busy, I try to stick at least to the lives and the pipe meat. Because those are one of my favorite interactions is chatting with people smoking a pipe. It's hard to beat. But yeah, I've got a blend with Warhorse Red in it. That's Aragorn, Two Towers, Sammath Knoll, which is the Chamber of Fire within Mount Doom, which actually ties. It's got a weird but awesome similarity to Mordor, to the Mordor blend. I mean, I make blends that taste like Honey Nut Cheerios. I made a blend that tastes like plum jelly on toast, cracked pepper, dang near anything you can think of, man. I'm over 150 blends. I know that. I've got 2 notebooks packed with blends. I'm about to start my 3rd because my 2nd notebook's full. And I'm not really harsh. I'm a very fair critic on blends. And what I mean by fair is I give it an objective rating, like overall how the blend works together. when I do reviews, which I also do have a playlist for some reviews. And then I have, I give my personal opinion. So sometimes it differs. It might be a blend that I would say altogether is about a 2-star out of 5, but I enjoy the blend enough it would be like a 3-star out of 5. Or other way around, but I'm very objective on it, but I'm very critical. Like for a blend to get 5 stars, has to have a pleasant, not harsh room note. Have to be able to taste all the components. They have to meld well together. Has to be borderline Nirvana smoke. And has to have that X factor where you go, wow, this blend is just outstanding from others. So I'm very critical on blends. But I think people need to be. When they're kicking out 100 blends that not really very many people like, or people don't like the chemical or this and that, I can't give those 5-star ratings. They better be really well blended. Oh, that's awesome. I always liked that old movie with Mickey Rooney, Huckleberry Finn. And I was drawn to corncob pipes at an early age. I had no idea I was going to become a pipe smoker. I've only been about 3 years now. Thank you, Patrick. That's true. And we had a neighbor that smoked a pipe. I got to be around a couple of times, and my grandpa, I wish I would have known I would have such an interest years later, because when I was really young, my grandpa passed, my mom's dad, and he had 3 pipes, and I would have kept them. And it was a crazy ruckus when he passed. People they're supposed to meet up. The whole family was supposed to meet on this weekend and go over the little things like tables and furniture and this and that, who should have what. And I had a couple aunts get in there and just take whatever they felt like. Then we had a jackwagon of an uncle that went over there and got drunk because he was depressed over his dad passing, or his dad passing, tore up the place. So I wish I would have grabbed those pipes, but I didn't know that young of an age that I would be smoking a pipe. Had no idea. That's awesome you're a Tolkien fan, though. I appreciate whether it's shows, movies, or the old stuff, the old Disney, high quality stuff I appreciate greatly. More than probably most people should. Just like we're talking about the older machinery and stuff of 70s and before. I'll do another video. We'll get the shop a little more arranged. I did do a video that just says shop update. I did show the lathe, I believe. I just went around the shop. So you're welcome to check it out. It's one of my fairly recent videos. Yeah, that uncle, man, they got drunk. They tore up the deck, broke a really old, nice wood table. I think it was chestnut. It wasn't oak, but it was even higher quality than that. That was one thing that my mom's dad did when he was on his feet farming. If he bought furniture, it was a high quality. He had worked in wood mills. He knew what good quality was, and he spent and got great furniture. And yeah, it was shameful. And I don't know where those pipes or anything on. I can still remember those shelves near the door. And I just have no idea where any of that stuff ended up. But he had this huge jar of polished rocks in a trailer. And he passed that on to me before he passed. So that was really cool. And I've passed some on to neighbor kids, and there's some stuff in there that who knows how many thousands of years those rocks had formed like that. Just amazing stuff. I'll have to dig them out and show you guys some of them. And some I kept at my grandma's farm, just kind of spread out. But there's one that's a geode that somebody cut and it's polished. And when you flip it over, it looks like snow, like dark twigs, snowflake looks inside the stone. When I visit my grandma's farm, I'll have to bring that back and show you guys because it was amazing. But yeah, if I would have known, I would have grabbed those pipes, told my parent, I would have told them, I'm taking these pipes, they're mine. And I'll show you, I've got a tray covered now. I'll show probably on my Saturday live, I'll bring it down. But my mom's dad was in the Navy and he smoked cigarettes for a few years. And he and his brother smoked pipes. And my mom's dad smoked pipes. So my dad's dad and my mom's dad. And he only smoked pipes a couple years and he gave it up. But he has this really cool leaf pipe holder. And it's ceramic and it's beautiful. But I've got stuff on it, so I don't want to move it. And my dad's uncle had misplaced a pipe, corncob pipe, in the corral. And my dad was working with him. And he had lost it the year before or two. And he goes, oh, there's that pipe. Picked it up, brushed it off. It was covered in cow stuff. Filled it and smoked it right there. My dad couldn't believe he did that. But there's a lot of good memories that I didn't know about until after I started smoking a pipe. So it's really cool to learn about it. I get super nostalgic. If I go into a grandpa's workshop or something, I'll be there for days. I mean, they got old meat mashers and silverware from well over 100 years ago. Stuff like that. I just get into this world. This my own world, man. It's amazing. It's got a grip on me. Yeah, it was in black and white. There's another movie, if you guys haven't seen, Babes in Toyland. They have these two criminals they're the henchmen for the guy in charge, for the really bad guy. They are funny actors, my goodness. So what kind of blends do you prefer, country gentlemen? Do you kind of smoke like some of everything? Do you have a preference? Do you I hate to say aromatics with the modern meaning on it. So I think aromatics were tobaccos like that just were aromatic. They just smelled good, but you could taste the tobacco. I like most of mine are technically Englishes because they aren't topped in any way. But my aromatics, if I say one of my blend is aromatic, it means it smells good, or it may have some components which I usually share that are from aromatic blends that exist already. But I'm a fan of Peterson blends, Old Shenandoah, Lane, McBaron, Hearth and Home and Old Shenandoah are two of my favorites. Some of the Scotty's blends I really enjoy. Frogmorton's, of course. Got a little bit of Esoterica. Got some Margate, which I really love. Hillbilly Piper sent me a little bit of Penzance, which has been one I've been wanting to try, and so to Bed. But I like all the way up to John Marr, Maltese Falcon, Molto Dolce is pretty good. Seattle Pipe Club. There's so many good ones out there and so many bad ones out there. Yeah, and it's only like a 2-minute video, Patrick. So it's great because if you don't have a lot of time, it's like 2.5 minutes. Oh, that's funny, man. I feel the same way, and my father-in-law does too. He says he said I belong in like the 1920s. And I think he does. And I would have loved to be in the 1800s rocking on a porch on a house I just built without all this BS you got to go through and quite so much expense. Um, have a fireplace and a rocking chair, and I'm good. Have a pipe there just chilling. Ah, thank you. I thought it was in the 60s. I didn't realize it was as early as 61, but I appreciate that. Yeah, most of the shows in the 50s and 60s. What's really fun to watch is the smoking commercials from the 50s and the 60s. Those are very enjoyable. I was born in the late 80s, but you know, I watched Star Wars when I was a kid, so that was in the 90s, so that kind of pushed me back into the 70s. And I watched a lot of I had this babysitter when I was too young to really remember, and she would record the Disney Channel shows that were on TV every week and send them home with my mom. And I grew up watching a lot of those. And TV used to be so much better than it is now. I mean, the best shows on now are really SpongeBob and not much else. But I do like the IT crowd. They do get away with some great jokes that you can't really do anymore. Oh, nice. For me, those smoky flavors, some of them which consist of some Latakia, but the dark fired Burley's dark Burley is awesome. It's very strong, but it has a very nice. You can get a really nice earthiness to it, and Perique's, yeah, dark fired Kentucky. And if you do decide you're going to order some for blending, I've been extremely impressed. And now I've got Gawith and Hagar, some C&D blending components, but I've been ordering a lot of Sutliff. Their prices are great, and their blending tobaccos are outstanding. Um, I mix some of everything. Um, sometimes I've got 3 or 4 different brands. I think the one blend I made has like 8 components in it. And when you nail them just right, it's like you can't believe it, but there's so much depth because you can taste each tobacco and what they do together. I made a sweet and spicy blend that has never failed. The bowl is right off the light, is sweet, and as it goes towards the end of the bowl, gets a little less sweet and a little more spice, and at the end it's just spicy, and it's amazing. Oh, me too, bud. I've got a we actually have a sod outline. We get this. This is so cool. We had a place we were farming that's within the family that was called the Ponderosa. And about 8 years ago, the Ponderosa pine that was on it finally fell down. But we had an outline still left of a sod house that we had family living in the 1800s. It's incredible. I love walking out there. Now, the sod outline is only like that by now. But whenever we'd go on, we did a deal in elementary school, and you'd go visit and you'd dress up in the 1800s style for a day and go check out feather pen writing and stuff like that, or quill tip or whatever. And seeing some of those houses, man, I'm like, my soul just connected immediately. And I've been getting into that bushcraft stuff here and there. over the last couple months, just whenever I can watch. I can't always watch stuff, but when I can, a lot of that stuff, I love that. My grandparents and great grandparents, they made their own stuff. Hell, they had back in the day, kids. You had play clothes. The boys and girls had dresses. They had the tops with the stuff that would go down over the legs to protect them from weeds when they went out and played. Their backyard might be, a field full of weeds and rye and other stuff, and that was their yard. I mean, at 7 years old, my dad was driving to his uncle's place checking cattle. That's just how they were. And we saw there was a place in Maine, because that is a place we've also loved the idea of living in. It was about 50 yards from if even that, 30 to 50 yards from a forest. There was this beautiful cabin, just the right size, small enough to be cozy, big enough to be comfortable, but not too much. Nice wood burning little stove there, a pellet stove or something. And the other direction, you had part of the Pacific Ocean, or maybe Atlantic. I mix them up all the time, but you had the ocean in a calm inlet. And that was maybe 60 or 70 yards from the house. I was like, if I had the money, I would have a second home there. And we lived in Omaha for about a year because I was getting treatment for necrotizing fasciitis and West Nile effects. And we moved back so I could be by my grandma and be with my parents and my wife's parents. And her folks have health issues. And my grandma recently passed, but it was right. She was a day before 95. She had a great life. And her last day she had a couple of really good days. She felt really good. She got to say hello to the people she was going to heaven to see. She got to say her goodbyes. It was okay. And it was much harder for me to lose my grandpa. But it was like signifying an end in a huge, amazing era. The people that fought in World War I and World War II are heroes. Back when wars were fought to fight evil. And what a generation. What a generation. There was a game I play occasionally called Red Dead Redemption 2. And that game is like nostalgia center for me. You can ride horses and, you play the story of part of a gang member, but it's not in the style of a typical gang. It's the signal, or dang it, what is the word? Symbolizing of the new era coming, the machine era, the ending of outlaws. But it was also representing outlaws the way they actually were and not the way they're portrayed. Outlaws were people that did not want people ruling over them or dictating how they lived. And yeah, they did things that weren't right to do, but it was a very accurate, well done. It's almost like watching an amazing documentary. But I'm into criminal justice stuff. I went to school for that. I was a nursing therapy aide. Just about every job you could think of. But I love that stuff. Wood cabins. I mean, I picture I would go out, cut my own wood, and a lot of like the Alaskan dudes that they show on TV, even though some of them aren't quite as accurate as they started out. Cabin in the woods, man, simple. Just simple. I just don't need I would of course have internet so I could still enjoy the company of you guys and have this connection. But other than that, I don't need I'm content, man. I don't need much. If my wife's near me and I've got a pipe and plenty of tobacco, I'm pretty comfortable. I think that's the biggest thing that we're on the verge of losing with new generations, and um, less and less actually being taught in schools. Um, there's a lot of in-depth appreciation we're at risk of losing. And there's some amazing people in the world trying to set it straight, but parents are important. They got to keep it going. Oh, that's very cool. I bet you are proud as heck of your grandpa. That's awesome. 97 is a nice age. My mom's dad was in World War One and Two, and in two, um, there was still legitimate racism, not the stuff going on now that they claim is whatever, not a grievance, but there was racism where there were commanders that wouldn't work with blacks, and my grandpa was a battalion commander, and he said, this is BS. He said, they bleed the same as you and me, they fight the same as you and me. So he actually commanded a unit of all black men. He was the only white guy, and boy, what a brotherhood they all had. And it goes the same, judging people by their character, not their color. And it was just amazing. The stories that my dad and mom have told me about things that he talked about, that he didn't really share with us kids, were just incredible. And thank you. She didn't succumb much to Alzheimer's, well, dementia, not really quite Alzheimer's, but she had a little bit of dementia. And, she went peaceful at an old age and had a great life. So, but thank you. Yeah, that's cool that you've played that. It's that game should have gotten quadruple A rating, in my opinion. But that'll be cool, man. I should have, like I said, I'll blend some stuff up this weekend and send some stuff out early next week if I can. And some days I just have bad days where I can't really do much. But I'll get some stuff blended and send stuff out, and I'll be sure and send you a sample, because the stuff, I think you might really like it. Very easy going, smooth and creamy smoke. If you smoke it slowly, it's, you get more of the flavors. Just like any tobacco, you smoke it hot, you miss something. I've smoked this one hot and it was still really good. My mouth is still watering. But I hope you enjoy it, man. I'll have to look. I got lots of blends. And you're looking for something smoky, some more of the smoky blends. So we'll see what we can come up with. But it's been a pleasure having you here, man. I'm actually gonna go get something to eat and wind down for the night. But I really, really mean this. Thank you guys for your time. And I've been saying that more and more because you guys are giving, some of your time in your life to share a pipe with me, and it means a lot. I appreciate you guys. Everybody on here is always in my thoughts and prayers. All the best to you guys. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your smokes. Appreciate what you have. and be thankful. There's a lot of people in the world with less, and I can complain and go, "Oh my, I got a small house," but if it wasn't for my parents, we would have lived in a car for 4 years at least. And um, just appreciate what you have. Keep others in your thoughts and prayers as well. It's always good for your soul. And yeah, I'll be in touch with you, man. Um, I'll probably send you whenever I see your email. I'll check emails tonight and the next couple days. I'll send a confirmation email to you that I got it, so you know I did. And I'll be in touch with you this weekend. Saturday or Sunday, like I said, I never know how the next day is gonna go. I could wake up tomorrow, it could be a rough day and all my plans change, or it might be a really great day. You never know. So when I'm gonna blend, I'll definitely contact you again and let you know and ask for your mailing info and yeah, get some stuff sent out to you. Patrick, like I said, um, as soon as that shop is finished up, I'll move my my tools. I can't think of what they're called. It's gonna drive me nuts. I'll just show you guys. Um, Dang it, I can't think of what those. I don't want to move it. I got got tobacco resting on it. But I'll get on your tamper, and we'll get some other tampers made, and we'll just be in there making lots of stuff. Very close to have it set up. So very, very anxious to get back to making things. Oh, awesome. I appreciate that, man. I do love seeing reviews. I love those types of videos that everybody does. I enjoy them on their own. But yeah, be totally honest. If you smoke and go, man, I don't like this, or man, it bites me. I don't take any offense. I just look at it like blends aren't the same for everybody. And some blends I do go back over and go, well, this one bit for this guy that got it, but not for these guys. Maybe I can alter it a little, keep the same flavor and make it better. So yeah, honesty is good. I'm golden with that. So thank you guys. I'm gonna go eat something and then finish this bowl before bed. And God bless you guys. Thanks for being here. Oh, I do have to show one more thing. This is the pipe, and my wife was actually going to join us for a smoke. She's been looking after her folks. A couple weeks ago, somebody stole her dad's car, just trashed the heck out of it. And so she today took her folks to get the car had been fixed. So she took them to get it and did a lot of running around. So she's pretty worn out. But this is the pipe that Hillbilly Piper sent my wife. And just in case you aren't familiar, country gentlemen, if you hear someone say Mabu, that just stands for Mrs. All Briar'd Up. And this is the gorgeous little tomato-esque kind of church warden that Hillbilly sent Mrs. All Briar'd Up. Had to show it again. He surprised us with this one. He hid it in a bag of samples of tobacco, and it was very generous of him. Yeah, good night to you guys. Look forward to more pipes with you and more chats with you all. And thanks for being here. God bless you guys, and behave, but just a little bit, okay?